This chunky girl is 200 kilograms and only 24 horsepower. It is boring. And I'm gonna fix it and make it fun by nearly tripling the ponies.
More power, baby!
Will the frame survive? This bike has a power to weight ratio of an obese elderly donkey. The frame is made out of butter and the brakes are made from wood. Is it following us? And still, somehow, someway, I absolutely love this bike. So, smash that subscribe button and let's get into it. According to internet, these are also not the most reliable engines in the world and are pretty well known to eat their own insides. I've done about 10,000 km since I got the bike, and being the absolute gentleman that I am, I've done no maintenance whatsoever. No filters, no oil change, nothing at all. So I'm pretty curious what kind of liquid regret comes out of there. Oh my god, what is that? I guess it's some sort of overflow tank for the oil or whatever. Anyways, bye. You know, I honestly don't think it's that bad. It's as dark as it gets. It's definitely used and probably should have been changed 10,000 kilometers ago, but it's still viscous. There's no bits of metal in there, so I think the engine is actually pretty healthy. With the engine oil out, let's start removing stuff. That's weird. It's not bad of a look, I kind of enjoy it, but the taillight is a little bit out of place there, but... So next up, I'll gut the airbox, this area here, so that I can see better what's going on from there. And then on, we start to thinking about the engine itself. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy of the lemons. And this amount of connectors here is exactly what I was talking about when I was talking about shitboxes. Man, it's been 20 minutes and there's already no chance I can put this all back together the way it was. It's such a simple bike, how is there 100 connectors? That's insane. Why? Imagine this. Ooh, he's facing the wrong way, but boy. Ooh-wee. What do you think, guys? From 1 to 10, how easily do you think I get distracted, guy? And even crazier is the weight difference. Now look at this. The original is 5.15 kilos. This is the only way I can do this. 82.5, 84.4, 1.9 kilos. That is more than 3 kilos savings on the exhaust alone. And I'm pretty sure the engine is lighter as well. Ooh, and by the way, before we continue, another distraction. I went and did a test of 0 to 100 kilometers an hour with the bike in the rain, and you get straight to that right now. What is a more relevant and scientific way to test an off-road vehicle improvement? It's obviously a 0 to 100 kilometers an hour test. The weather outside is shite. I've come to Mexico. Let's try it out. If I wasn't wet before, then I certainly am now. The test was completely useless because the app doesn't work. Luckily on the internet there's plenty of people knowing already how fast it goes. And on the plus side, at least I got a coffee and let's get to work finally. We are getting real close to getting the engine out. Just The controls, some brake lines, just treating her like a lady and undressing her slowly because she's shy. Also, while we're at this, let me address some of the comments that you have left. I think the number one thing that I get told is that there's a Himalayan 450 which has addressed all the problems of this bike. And while it is faster, it is not the same. I really enjoy the look of this motorcycle specifically, and the 450 is still about 40 horsepower. Even though it's better than 24, it's not 60, and we're gonna have 60. Also, can't afford it. I don't have money for that. Let me remind you, this is all happening on budget. It's like 1,000 euros at least, for sure. The other thing I get told a lot is that the frame will fold in half because of all the additional power that I will introduce. I do understand your concern, guys. This channel is mainly about safety third, but I will look into it later on. Once the engine is in, I'm gonna have a look at what I can actually do to reinforce the frame. Alright, well, let's continue undressing the lady. Help me understand, how does this bike has a wiring loom this big? There's 2 electronic things in this whole fucking machine. How is there so many cables? I found out why I had problems with idling, because it would idle either very high or just die. So this is the intake, yeah? Yeah, look at the rubber gasket of the intake manifold. So there was a massive vacuum leak. That's why the bike wasn't running right. Also, a lot of y'all mentioned that I will need to change the brakes because the brakes on this bike are not that good, and I happen to agree. So I will use the Brembos from the KTM. The rotor is not that big, but we'll see if we can improve that as well. I'm outside, I don't know, but this is it, guys. This is the moment. All of the bolts are open. All I need to do is take the engine and swing it down like a cradle. There she is. My plan here is pretty simple. I'm gonna undo the bolt on the front, and that will allow the engine to swing down to the board and hopefully not hit the ground. So yeah, guys, I'll need all the help possible on this one. Also, while we're talking about help, I remember that I wanted to thank all my Patreons and also everybody that has joined to the channel on the left side of the screen. Thank you so much all for your support. Because of you, this is possible. Let's get on and take this thing out of here. The Himalayan is magical because there's no more bolts holding it, but it's still somehow holding up. Ah, I need to remove the chain. YouTube. Okay, sneak, sneak. And to the other snake she goes. Woo. Unexpected turn of events. Oh, and we're out. It is not every day that I do sketchy of this level. Anyways, let's get the bike outside and let's have a look at the engine. A 5-time world champion at eating their own camshafts, weighing in at 41 kilograms, I present to you the KTM LC4! The New Delhi's finest, the reigning, defending, overweight champion of the world, the Royal Enfield Himalayan 411. Well, as you can see, the size difference is absolutely staggering. I cannot believe that this has 24 horsepower and this has almost 60 horsepower. Let's put this on the scale and see what it says. But my spidey senses tell me that this is way heavier because I might already need a chiropractor. Alright, I got the number. It is pretty surprising. Now you let me know in the comments. What do you think this weighs? Yeah, I'm gonna leave you on a cliffhanger. I'm sure you're curious as hell and I am as well. So before I go home today, I just want to squeeze it in just to have a look and have an idea of how it might look. Engine swap's done. Well, that is kind of how it would look inside. Obviously, this is nowhere near where we need to be. What do you think? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Are you excited? Because I am. guys, I gotta be honest, my mind is absolutely blown to smithereens. I have absolutely no words to be said. I think it looks insane. It looks more like a dirt bike, less big and chunky, I would say. Tomorrow we'll be back and we'll start thinking of what needs to be adjusted and done where in order to get it in permanently. Himalayan now so naked that I'll probably open an OnlyFans for it. Let's focus on the bottom end of the bike. I need the swing arm to be centered inside the frame to be able to align the engine drive sprocket to the rear sprocket of the bike so that there's no tracking problems of the chains, so the chains are not broken. Obviously it looks awesome as heck, but there is one major problem with the rear shock because the shock mount and the linkage does not work on it because it's moved too much to the frame side and it hits the frame and it's not even close. Let me think about things. I really need a moment to compute. Here's where we are with this whole thing. There's more good news than bad news, but there are both. Number one is the shock will hit the swing arm, which is definitely a no-no. We'll need a different shock, and I've already checked around and there is a KTM 640 Supermoto that doesn't have a reservoir there. Anyway, there's one with reservoir here, but I don't know if I want to put it there because I'd like to have an airbox here. Triangle linkage here. The KTM one, too short. So instead I'm gonna use the original Himalayan one, which fits to the frame perfectly. We'll need these arms from the KTM because those are shorter. Obviously this will not work as an axle. And by the way guys, y'all let me know if you'd be interested in some sort of cool little merch. Socks for your little toesies or a t-shirt for your little boobies, something like that. Pretty cool, eh? If anybody asked you, that was kickflip, yeah? In other news, I spoke to my dad. My dad is a genius. Basically, he's a machinist mechanic. And he will be a crucial part of this whole project because there's a lot of things that I cannot make because I don't have a lathe. And he can machine stuff. So, we agreed that we will use the original axle. The spaces between the frame and the swing arm will be filled in with weld-on spacers welded to the frame side of this. I need to make all the measurements, send the thing to my dad, ask him to make it. He will send it back to me and we will have a swing arm in place. Would you believe that if I say that I think I have to cancel this, I don't think it's possible? Just kidding. But I am in a pickle, however. I've spent here hours trying to figure out how to package this thing because, surprise, a radiator and exhaust is gonna be a problem. So I hope you enjoy what you see. If you want to follow the build, make sure you subscribe and I'll see you next time. Stay tough, motherfuckers.